Today I'm here with my friend, my buddy, Gary from VaultBots. We have been very busy, my friend. We have been very busy.
We have events 2-3 times a week now.
What was your feeling on the Paramount event? We did a Paramount event in Miami. Over 50 people showed up. We had about 3 engineers, about 50 investors. What was your take on that? You got to do your presentation.
I think that event actually was really good, David, because we were able to actually demonstrate what the robot can do specific to the use cases for our clients that showed up that day. And we had people from real estate background, restaurants, hotels, and it was good to actually have some questions that the robot can answer. And there was a lot of wow factor in the audience.
When I opened the event, I didn't know how it was going to be the intro. And it was what really amazed me was everyone was able to engage with me and they shared what they needed. The whole goal for VaultBots right now is to figure out what you need as a client and not what we can provide. We know what we can provide. We need your needs so we can fulfill them. And my biggest takeaway, I told you, a 10-year-old boy came up and I introduced him at the beginning of the event. At the end, he did 3 questions. Could he teach them? Could he protect them if a kid was hurt? And what if there wasn't an adult in the room? What would the robot do? A 10-year-old boy said that. And Luca went straight down the line and the whole place really understood that. To me, that was the aha moment of the night.
Speak into this, okay?
Are you here for the event? Let me know how I can help make your day awesome.
Luca, do you think that you'll be able to teach a classroom?
Absolutely. I can help deliver lessons, answer questions, and keep students engaged with interactive content. Ready to make learning fun and smooth together?
Who was the first president?
George Washington was the first president of the United States. Ready for more history facts or something else fun?
If a child gets hurt on the playground, what would you do?
If a child gets hurt, I'd first quickly get an adult, the teacher, staff, or supervisor in charge. I'd stay with the child, help keep other kids back so they have space, and calmly describe what happened to the adult so they can decide if first aid or emergency help is needed.
What if there's no adults around?
If there really were no adults around, the most important things are to stay calm and get help fast. I would 1. Call emergency services or building/security using my system. 2. Stay with the child, keep them still and reassure them. 3. Keep other kids back so the area is safe. 4. Watch their breathing and condition until an adult or medic arrives.
Lucas says, "Hey, good job." That was, especially with the 10-year-old asking that question, and he's already thinking ahead. And that's the beauty of these robots, because we as adults, we see it in one direction, but then the younger generations have a different perspective of the robot, and they're already thinking ahead. So the big takeaway from that was, in any occasion, it's good to have the younger generation involved, because the more they get involved, the more they know about the robot, the more the future is going to be good for us, because the young generation is going to be the future along with the robot.
And one of the things we talk as adults, we've had this conversation. Robots, every time we talk about robots, people bring up the movies and the dangers of robots. If the child's comfortable with a robot, imagine the future of those robots, right? So for him to believe that that Luca was there to protect them, I think that was a good turn for other people, for us as adults, to not assume, because our logic tells us what we've seen, right? Our logic is made of our experiences, our knowledge. So if that happens, we're basically looking at a robot thinking it's going to happen like the Terminator or iRobot. But this is not all of the robots. This is what we have perceived it to be. For movie purposes, to make money for Hollywood.
No, for sure.
This is actually to do good things for us, to help us. We were talking when we met, and you told me, David, the goal is not for the robot to take over everything. The job of the robot is to work with the human, right?
To be an assistant to the human, because at the end of the day, we need humans and the robots to interact together. So a good analogy is when you have a younger generation child looking at a robot, it's same as a dog And if a family or adult is not introducing this child properly to the dog, a robot can be a very strange thing as well. Just, it's not, obviously not an animal, but a child's perception of the robot, if done at a young age, going on to an adult and having a family that incorporates robots versus having a family that pushes robots away, it's only going to be better for that child, meaning in the future that child's going to be closer to the robots. And the integration of them two together is very important, because right now we have our phones in our hands and these are our robots, basically.
Pretty
right?
much.
Pretty much.
We're counting on them.
The phone is not really doing anything except you're talking to it, but you're actually talking to the ChatGPT. It doesn't do any physical stuff, but it actually does all the mental thinking for you. So the next wave of the future after AI is robotics. And for kids, they're not going to have phones anymore. They actually will have a robot right next to them that will be their companion, that will make calls for them, that will do everything in life that they need to do. Everything's going to be run by AI for the next generations.
Wow. Yeah, I look at it, it's interesting. You talked about like the dog analogy. When you meet someone that didn't grow up with a dog, right? And they finally see a dog, they could be scared of the dog depending on what they see on TV.
Right.
Right? Whatever their experience is, even if it's not a real experience. That's why television and what we watch is, you got to be very careful of what you're actually putting into your brain. So for me, to watch Luca do what he's done so far, I think he's actually, the expectations of what people came in, at least to that event, he blew them out of the water, for sure, because they had no idea what to expect.
Right.
The other part of it is we took him into the software convention, the MVNO convention at the Hyatt Regency in Miami, and Luca made an appearance. And what was really interesting to me is not, the little conversations that we have with Luca, is how he relates in a room full of people.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, he was literally walking around the room full of people. Yeah. And there was no reaction except he was paying attention to whoever was taking, which was Gabriel, of course. Yeah. And when Gabriel was giving him the prompts, he was able to speak to people. He was able to introduce himself to people. Again, we're talking about a room full of people. We're not talking about just, hey, we're here doing a red carpet interview. So we don't know how the robot responds when there's a lot of activity. Well, actually, I got to see that.
Yeah.
How was your perception of that?
It was great. Actually, he was at that event that day, and then 2 days later we're at Empower, Emerge, I'm sorry.
Oh, the Emerge conference.
Emerge America, yeah. And, two different events, but again, if we prompt the robot correctly, because obviously the robot has its character, and the character has to be given by its prompt, because you can customize it to do different things, but you can't prompt it to do everything. So we specifically prompted it for that event and for the other event, and I think it was phenomenal, because when the attendees were talking to it, it almost seemed like Luca knew everything about the show and some. So for the audience, that's really, warming, because they're actually getting feedback that they're there to receive, especially from the robot.
And for us, that's what we need.
Absolutely.
Because again, what I said earlier, we need the client, or we need the person that's looking at some of this technology to let us know their needs, right? If you're in a restaurant, how great would it be that there's still a waiter, but what about if the robot comes in with the menu? What if you're going to pay more attention to the food? I mean, how many restaurants have we gone in Miami Beach or Miami that the special of the day? We have the lobster, we have, stone crabs, right? They give you the whole thing. I can't even understand half the time. Sometimes it goes so fast.
It goes fast.
There's so much information. Well, what if the robot was talking? I'm going to pay attention to what the robot is saying. Yeah. I might not be paying attention to the waiter.
Yeah, it's easy, simple as that, because the waiter is going to say, 30 seconds to 60 seconds, what the menu is and what the specials are, maybe even longer. So if you cut down, let's say you have 30 waiters, and those 30 waiters don't have to take that 1 minute and not to say it's a bad idea to tell the people the special, but if the human is already sitting at a table and the waiter approaches and the human says, hey, your robot already told me the special, I don't even need you to tell me the special, that saves time. And then the waiter can actually give better service because he has more time.
I was just going to say that. You took it out of my mouth. So the goal was exactly that. The waiter can focus on exactly doing the service, while the robot can focus on sharing the things that are the norm.
Right.
They're the common thing that they're going to do every single day with every single customer. but I believe the client would actually listen to the menu more, and they'll be able to see it. Maybe they have an LED wall on their LED plate on their chest, and you can see all the specials right there while he's talking. You're going to pay more attention to the menu. Maybe you even order more food.
And then think about the reviews that come after. People are going to take pictures with the robot. They're going to say, hey, the robot actually gave me the suggestion. The special was great. So it's just something new that rings into people's ears. And whether you're reading the review or seeing the pictures, you're going to go to that restaurant. Why? Because it's different. It's not like everybody else. So I think it's a great way to put these robots in hospitality and restaurants, and to make yourself different from the competitors. Because right now with the AI and tech race, people are putting AI and technology into every aspect of their business. Why not put this robot, save money on costs on labor, entertain your guests, and scale your business to the next level?
And use humans for what we're meant to do, which is to communicate, to engage, and to make sure that we do good customer service if you're in a business, right? So, Gary, to finish this segment, why did you get into this?
Good question. My first business was theme parks and schools for dogs, which essentially not only was it helping the dogs, but also the pet parents. So it was helping the society as a whole. And what I noticed is, helping others is a way to grow in life. It's actually a very rewarding way in life. And when you see reactions from people in this business, was, pet hotels and pet parents would come and tell me they were so grateful to have this business and how it served them, and how they were happy to have a pet that's like a child. So taking those elements and saying, and after I sold that business, I had to move on to something different. But looking at these robots, I looked at these robots similar to pets, because they are companions, especially for the elderly. They can teach kids how to do their schoolwork. So, a lot of times pets grew up with kids and they grew up with them. So I think this is going to be a family member now that's just like a pet. It loves you unconditionally.
They need you.
And we have a dog robot. Actually, everybody pets and says hi to the dog robot. So I think we're at an age where, the pets and the robots can actually, they're needed by society, and they're there to love the society, and they're there to help the society.
Well, listen, look forward to our next events, vaultbots.com, right? You can check out everything that we're doing. And of course, Gary, as the CEO, as the founder, we're working on a lot of projects together. So I'm really excited to see what the future tells. Again, my name is David Octavio Gandell. I am here to host this amazing segment. And I just want to thank this amazing company, Constru Media, for giving us the opportunity to use their podcast studio today. Thank you, Rachel, and thank you to everyone involved. God bless you guys. Take care.
Thanks for having us. Take care.